French President Emmanuel Macron honored a scheduled visit to Mali over the weekend, saying he hoped a regional force aimed at combating criminals in the arid Sahel region would be operational within weeks. He said this after a summit of presidents from Chad, Mali, Mauritania, Burkina Faso and Niger, the G5 Sahel bloc, which is setting up the multinational force which will function alongside French and UN missions in the region. Macron said the force, which is expected to consist of around 5,000 troops, needed to be fully operational within a matter of weeks. The countries of the G5 Sahel bloc began floating the idea of a regional force as early as 2015, but the plan has gained momentum in recent months with Macron's backing. With its military headquarters in the northern Mali town of Sevare, the G5 Sahel force will focus on 3 border zones. One along the frontier between Niger and Mali, another between Mali and Mauritania, and a third straddling the borders between Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali. Residents in Moscow are expecting that Chinese President Xi Jinping's upcoming visit to Russia will deepen understanding and mutual trust between the two countries and boost cooperation in many fields to benefit peoples of the two countries. Many residents of the Russian capital city said China and Russia are friendly neighbors and the two peoples enjoy a long history of friendship. They expect that President Xi's visit will further deepen friendship between the two countries and the two peoples and lay a sound foundation for the bilateral cooperation in politics, economy and other fields. As Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin are jointly promoting the connection of the Belt and Road Initiative with the Eurasian Economic Union, the two countries have conducted multiple pragmatic cooperation and the two peoples have enjoyed the fruits. Residents in Moscow hope that Xi's visits will promote the two countries' cooperation in such areas as economic and trade, energy and investment in order to achieve connectivity, win-win results and common prosperity in the two countries and even the whole Eurasia region, and bring more convenience and benefit to the peoples of the two countries. The Qatari Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani says a series of demands issued to Qatar by several neighboring states were made to be rejected, and that the ultimatum was aimed not at tackling terrorism but at curtailing national sovereignty. Sheikh Al Thani says Doha remains ready to sit down and discuss the grievances raised by its Arab neighbors. The comments came ahead of a deadline set by Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Egypt for Doha to accept 13 demands. Officials say they're aimed at ending a rift that erupted last month over accusations that Qatar supports terrorism, charges it denies.
What we are saying here that everything should be based on a proper process and proper framework and agreed principles among the parties. This list of demands made to be rejected. It's not made to be accepted or not made to be negotiated. The state of Qatar, instead of rejecting it as a principle, we are willing to engage in providing the proper condition for further dialogue. Regarding the ultimatum and the 2 days, we believe that the world is governed by international law. The world is governed by an order which is not allowing large countries to bully small countries. So even the ultimatum, no one has the right to issue to any sovereign country an ultimatum. There is no fear from whatever action it's been taken. Qatar is prepared to face whatever consequences it is. But as I have mentioned to you that there is an international law which should not be violated, and there is a border which should not be crossed. And these countries and Qatar is in a region which is considered a center of stability in a turbulence region. So there is, I think, enough wisdom in avoiding such an irresponsible action against Qatar or against any country. And none of the countries and our international allies is going to accept such an escalation in that region. The region is vital for the entire world. It's not just vital for the Arab region.
And finally, the European Union's Commissioner for Migration, Dimitris Avramopoulos, says the bloc is willing to help ease the pressure for Italy, who has appealed to the EU for help in taking in African migrants. Italy has even raised the possibility of closing its ports to humanitarian rescue ships to pressure EU partners. Italy has brought in over 500,000 boat migrants since 2014, and a record 181,000 came last year. This year, arrivals are up by 14% from the same period last year to 75,000.
Italy is under huge pressure. We have to acknowledge it and provide Italy with our full support and understanding. The majority of the ones who cross the central Mediterranean Sea in order to come to Europe through Italy, they are mostly irregular migrants. Italy is right that the situation is untenable along the central and Mediterranean route, and all 28 European Union's leaders made this clear themselves on Friday at the last European Council. Italy has to adopt the measures to speed up the procedures and manage migrants on its territory. We are ready to increase our support to Italy, including substantial financial support if needed. All member states now need to deliver and show solidarity towards Italy. We all have, I would say, a humanitarian obligation to save lives. This should be our priority. Of course, we cannot leave a handful of European Union countries on their own to deal with this. We will discuss all these issues with all other member states next week in Tallinn, because we have the Council of the Ministers of Interior there. But in the meantime, I'm in open contact and online with the Italian government in order to see how is the situation on the ground and how can we support and help Italy.
And that's it on Diplomatic Channel this week. Tell us what you think on any of our topics. You can also log on to www.channelstv.com to watch past episodes and reach out to us using any of the addresses showing on your screen. I am Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.